Good morning everyone, this is George Beiruthi from FS Securities giving you the overnight report for Monday morning the 3rd of November. FS Securities is a stockbroking firm located on the Gold Coast in Queensland, Australia, and I intend to give you a bit more information about the company later in this presentation. But let me start with a disclaimer. Everything I say here is for general advice and general information only. Before you take any action, please consult with your professional advisor or talk to us directly. A copy of this disclaimer is available to you should you wish to receive it. All you have to do is call the office. Today we finish off with our technical indicator series on the moving average. This is the final section. We've had 3-part series earlier than that, giving you more description about how you can use the moving average as an indicator. We've also had several series before. You can consider them to be editorial or education type. We've had a very extensive series on options, and before that a series on futures contract. So there is a lot of information that we write every morning about for your education and information. All you have to do is go to the website, and if you're not already a member, you can subscribe on a 15-day free trial and surf right through the website and see there is a lot of information, which includes daily recommendations, daily scans, current and previous trading results, and a lot more. So we encourage you to visit our website and have a look and see what's inside it. Okay, we start with the data as we finished the week. On Saturday morning, we saw that Wall Street finished on Saturday morning after it rallied for the 11th day in a 13-day period. The Dow Jones Industrial Average held strongly above the 17,000 psychological level and finished at 17,390, adding another 1% on Friday to Saturday morning. And by the way, the Dow rose 3.5% over the full week. The S&P 500 over the same period, that is last week, was up by nearly 3% and finished at 2018. In Europe, the Stoxx 50 index that comprises several European major markets rose by 2.5%. In London, the FTSE 100 index rose by 1.3%. And in Japan, the Nikkei index was up by nearly 5% on Friday. In China, the Shanghai index was up by nearly 2%. On the commodities, gold on Saturday morning was trading at 1,173, and that is the same level as it is this morning. That is, of course, US per ounce, and that is down $27 from this time on Friday morning. And it is $60 below where it finished a week earlier. It is important to note that several times in the past 12 months, when gold dropped below 1200 level, it quickly recovered upwards. The question is, will it recover quickly this time? This coming Thursday at 12 o'clock, we are running a group discussion at our office on how to trade commodities and the prospect of gold, silver, and crude oil. If you're interested, please book your seats now. Silver this morning was at $16.15, down 30 cents from this time on Friday, or 2%. Over the last week, it was down by nearly 6%. Oil this morning was at $80.60 US a barrel, down 30 cents since Friday. And copper, the world's economic barometer, down 0.2% at 306 cents per pound. Iron ore this morning was at 78.5 US a ton. That is a drop of 0.6% from this time on Friday. On the currencies, our dollar is now 87.4 US cents, 98.6 Japanese yen, 69.9 euro cents, and 54.7 British pence. And of course, these are intra-bank rates. On our market on Friday, the benchmark ASX 200 index lifted 0.9%, and as a matter of interest, over the full month of October, our index was up by 4.4%. and that is despite weak commodity prices weighing on the resources sector as the big four banks rallied into reporting season. The best performers amongst the leaders over the full week, AMP was up nearly 5%, followed by Westfield and Leighton Holdings up by more than 4%. The worst performer, Newcrest Mines, down 7%, and amongst the sectors, the best sector was the consumer staples and property up by 3.5%, and the worst sector was gold, down 8%. On the economic news, we have the Westpac full year results, Australia RP data home price index, monthly inflation gauge, job advertisements, building approvals, all coming up. And in the United States, we have the ISM manufacturing data, and in China today we have the PMI, which is a purchasing managers index, which will show how strongly the manufacturing sector is in China, which of course is important to our economy as well because we rely heavily on China. Local shares are poised to lift at the open after Wall Street powered higher on Friday, buoyed by renewed tolerance for risk thanks to the Bank of Japan, which has decided to stimulate their economy. The SPI futures contract was up 8 points a short time ago, indicating a positive opening. Now, every so often during the week, our analysts here at FS Securities places several stocks for picks and trades. This is only a summary of the positions. A more detailed information is placed on the website under our picks and trades menus. If you wish to discuss any of these stocks, you may wish to call us directly or visit our website. Every day we update the market volume to show the trend over the past 3 weeks. We also like to show the ratio of advances to declines. It really shows the strength of the momentum and how the buyers and the sellers interact. I believe this is one of many ways to understand the trend of the market. Again, this chart is available on our market report that we send to our subscribers and we place on the website. We scan the market to show the gainers over the last trading session. From this table, you can see various companies. If you wish to select any one or two stocks to do further analysis, well, you may want to call us or you may want to get some help from your professional advisor. We also like to look at shares that have high volume. The National Australia Bank had a very high volume of nearly 21 million shares exchanging hands, and it was up by 1%. IAG Insurance Australia Group, also by high volume, was up by 1.1%. Telstra, 36 million, that's actually the average trading range in volume, was up 4 cents to $5.63. That is up 0.7%. We've got a lot of clients that actually finished their position in Telstra last week. FMG Fortescue Mine was up by 1.7% to $3.50. That's up 6 cents. We also like to give you a snapshot of the top 10 companies in the ASX 200 as well as the bottom 10 in terms of declines versus advances. Starting from the bottom, we have Resolute Mining down nearly 6%, Northern Star, a gold producer, down 5%, Newcrest Mines, gold producer, down 4.5%, and you can see the rest of the list on the red side on the bottom half of the top chart. On the positive side, we start with Fairfax, was up 3%, Downer EDI 3.3%, going up Regis Resources, interestingly because Regis Resources also a gold producer, was up 4.5%. BC iron ore producer, despite iron ore prices dropping, was still shows 5% rise on BC Iron, and the top of the list we have Southern Cross Media, nearly 6.5%. Now every weekend we like to give you a scan of the overall market in America, commodities, futures and so on. So we see that over last week the Dow Jones was up by 3.5%, but if you look at the last 2 weeks, this is the column here in the middle, it was up by nearly 6%. The Nasdaq nearly 9% up. The S&P 500 over 2 weeks was up nearly 7%. And the VIX, which is actually the volatility index, we call it the fee gauge, dropped by another 13% last week. Over the last 2 weeks was nearly down by 40%, back to 14 level. Very calm waters, we can call it very calm. Unless we see it above 30, the VIX is at the moment, and anything below 30 seems to be reasonably calm. The US dollar was up nearly 2% over the last 2 weeks, and the Australian dollar, despite the American market going up and the US dollar going up, still managed to have 0.6% up over the last 2 weeks. The euro was down 2%, which helped the American dollar to rise. Alright, now in terms of the ratio of put to call options, we now see that ratio down to one of the lowest levels for many months. It is 0.7. So for every one call, you only have 0.7 put option. Not so long ago, a few weeks ago, that was actually above 1. It has come back down quite a bit. Gold over the last 2 weeks was down 5.5%, and silver was down even further by nearly 7%. Coffee, which has been rising for several months, over the last 2 weeks was down by nearly 11%. The grains continue to move up, especially with soybeans up nearly 10% over the last 2 weeks. Okay, for those who don't know, we are trading futures contract at the moment, and also CFDs on commodities futures. On anything that you see on this list, we can trade for you. On the Australian market, you can see that most sectors were up with the exception of gold. Gold was down by 9%, that's the sector. The best sector over the last 2 weeks, going down that list, the healthcare, nearly 7.4%, followed by the mid-cap. When we see the mid-cap sector rising to that extent, it tells us that investors and traders are prepared to take more risk. So there are more risk takers now in the market, pushing the market upward. Going back that list, we have also very good results in the sector, the industrial sector and properties. So most sectors were really up over the last 2 weeks. Very, very positive weeks. Okay, now in terms of the companies, Newcrest Mines over the last 2 weeks was down 6.8%, and Leighton Holdings over the last 2 weeks was actually up 17%. 4% last week and 13% the week before, giving it a rise of 17.4% rise over the last 2 weeks. Going down that list, we see that AMP was also rising up to 13.4% over the last 2 weeks and 5% over that very last week. In total, 13% over 2 weeks. Going down that list, we see that Westfield up 7%, Wesfarmers 7.6%. Again, the 2 week performance gives you an idea about how strong the rise from last week and how it follows from the week before. So it really gives you an understanding of the trend in that particular stock. Finally, we tell you about the ex-dividends. We see that today we have the Bank of Queensland coming up with their ex-dividend date. They're offering 34 cents, 100% franked. That gives you 5.2% yield. Alcoa will come up with their ex-dividend in 2 days' time, and so is Kathmandu and ANZ Bank later on. So again, this is very important information. So if you own any of these companies, you know what to expect in terms of dividends, also how frank they are, and the yield. Alright, well, that's all from us here. I know that it's been a long presentation. That's what we usually do on Monday. We give you a more comprehensive information about the full week. Now, my name is George Beiruthi. I'm the director here at FS Securities. As you can see, I have many years of trading and investment experience and several qualifications to support what I offer my clients. My ambition today is to help our clients and prospective clients to become effective investors and traders. Now, the company is a stockbroking firm. We are fully licensed and we are located on the Gold Coast, but we trade for clients across Australia. We trade shares, options, commodities, CFDs and foreign exchange, and offer our clients a very attractive investment at 7% per annum, interest paid monthly, or you can go for 3 years, 9% per annum over 3 years, and interest paid monthly. We are also financial planners and cater for all your financial needs. Now, how to reach us? Our landline is 61, that's for Australia, 7 for Queensland, 56304141, and our mobile number is 0411 259526. That's my mobile number. I am available to receive your calls 7 days a week. And finally, once again, you can visit our website, and for a 15-day free trial, you can actually see everything we offer our clients, from education to information and what we do in our trading. So that's all from us here at FS Securities. We'll be back at 1:15 this afternoon to tell you what happened during the day, and of course this will be recorded and placed on the website. Have a fantastic day.